One imagines that perhaps we have created through society, for what is society but a pattern, patterns that reward behaviours, inner patterns within us that are either negligent or detrimental or toxic or psychopathic. Do you think of many of the people that are in positions of power and the structures that surround them and the structures that they perpetuate, that these are the product of negative, malevolent thinking, and that a kind of spiritual shift taking place on an individual level, if significantly spread, could bring about the kind of change that's required and indeed would be called revolution?
When I look at actually who forms the apex of the hierarchy in our society, it's largely traumatized people. For example, if you believe you live in a horrible world, how are you going to be? You have to be aggressive, grandiose, paranoid, selfish. In other words, you'll be the president of the United States because he's the one who said in so many words that the world is a horrible place. And that's the world he lives in. The Buddha said 2,500 years ago that with our minds we create the world. But my contention is that with our minds we create the world creates our minds. And Trump's brain was formed in a family where he was demeaned and punished and attacked and humiliated by his father. And so he believes he lives in a horrible world. That's what he acts out. And his brother dragged himself to death. So it's these traumatized people. Now his opponent, I could go into that, was also traumatized.
But what, so you're saying that in Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, there were two traumatized people
the American
fighting to govern a traumatized world?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And Hillary's trauma showed up in when she had pneumonia, she wouldn't even acknowledge it. Because as a child, she'd been taught she had to suck up her pain. She mustn't be vulnerable. She puts up with the philanderings of her husband, who's as much of a exploiter of women as Donald Trump ever was, just not as egregious about it. And she still justifies it. And so her method is to become inauthentic and to suck it all up. And that's her form of trauma.